The construction industry is changing. The arrival of digital technology radically altering the way buildings are designed and created. Building information modelling combines innovative technology with more effective business practices, transforming the construction process using intelligent 3D models. It's the first step towards the future of making things, and Autodesk is leading the way.
This big collision of the digital and the physical worlds. So the ability to very easily and simply and cheaply capture reality and bring that into a digital environment. To then work with that digital environment through the use of things like gaming engines to simulate and come up with the best outcome, and then to take that back into the real world through things like augmented technology.
Autodesk software de-risks the construction process by outlining and solving challenges pre-build, designing out error and therefore waste. Hill was an early adopter of BIM. Here, a steep incline factored in at the planning stage.
With BIM, you can spin buildings around, you can turn them upside down, and you can then understand, in ways we never could, how buildings will be going together. So all new technology has to prove itself very slowly and step by step. It's gathering pace with BIM, working with models rather than 2D outputs, and as and when we prove the return on investment, I think the uptake will be accelerated.
Senior figures in the industry believe the technology could increase productivity over the next 5 years by between 30 and 40%. And in an increasingly globalised industry, BIM technology allows companies to become more competitive, putting all the relevant build information in one place, liberating site managers.
What this allows us to do, it allows us to bring our office out onto site with us. So it frees up a lot more of our time. You know, years ago we'd spend 90% of our time out on site. 10 years ago that started reducing until we were probably spending 30% of our time out on site. This gives us back a fair chunk of that back out on site again. You've got a lot more control of what's going on, you know what's going on more day to day, and you've got a lot more control over the details that we haven't put in.
Once you've updated it, the rest of the team can see what you've done, and then they can obviously have an input. Should you fall sick, another colleague can pick it up after you. It's more efficient, it's just easier to use.
Autodesk is harnessing two major new arrivals in the field. The cloud, which is putting project information and application functionality into the hands of the construction workforce, supporting them with vast amounts of computing power, and generative design, the use of algorithms to accelerate the design of projects.
Now we're on this threshold of contractors having access to vast amounts of computing power via the cloud, enabling them to chew up very complex challenges on the fly. And that essentially has the potential to transform project delivery from today's best practical approach to one of tomorrow's of being best possible, because you have access to huge numbers of resources.
And advances in technology are not just changing the digital world. Physical construction is in the early stages of being disrupted as a result of the new industrial revolution that's transforming the manufacturing sector. Easier access to complex and off-site production methods is bringing cost and programme down and pushing quality and value up. The rise of additive and robotic manufacturing holds the promise of radically shortening the distance between a design and its real-world counterpart. And this fundamental departure from traditional building design is already changing the very foundations of the construction industry.